Thanks, Jason. For more, I'm joined now by CBS NFL writers Wilson and John Breech. Ryan, 3 months out from the start of the season, Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans says he's not concerned about Stroud's shoulder, but are you concerned?
Hey, Maddie. Hey, Breech. Good to see you guys. As someone who got something in the mail today from AARP, I have an idea of what general soreness means. But I'm a little older than C.J. Stroud, and it's early June. CJ's going to be fine. And look, they have a new offensive coordinator. They replaced Bobby Slowick, and you could say, well, he needs those opportunities, those reps to gel with the new OC, and even the new playmakers they have, Christian Kirk. They drafted 2 wide receivers, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. And yeah, to some extent, that's true. But I think they're turning over a new leaf offensively in Houston. And I think C.J. Stroud, who proved his rookie season, he is incredibly smart and can pick up an offense as fast as anyone, even a grizzled veteran. That's less concerning than getting him completely healthy. So general soreness, Breech, I can understand that. But again, C.J. Stroud's a little bit younger than me, and I think at the end of the day, he will be fine.
Yeah, I guess, Wilson. I mean, anytime a starting quarterback is not able to throw passes, I'm at least a little bit concerned. Now, obviously, it makes a lot of sense to hold him out. It is OTAs. There's no rush to get him in there. Let the shoulder heal itself. And even if he's not out there for mandatory minicamp, it's not a huge deal as long as he is ready to roll for training camp. Now, that being said, the NFL season, the 2024 season, ended 4.5 months ago. So why is he still dealing with shoulder soreness? This is something that players might deal with in February or March. So the fact that he is still dealing with it now that we're into June, I think if you are the Texans, you are at least slightly concerned. And let's not forget, you know who else had shoulder soreness this offseason? Derek Carr. Where is he right now? He's retired because they had to go in and figure out why he couldn't throw the football. And it turned out that, hey, look, you can't play football anymore. So I'm not saying that's going to happen with C.J. Stroud. I'm just saying that shoulder soreness is certainly something to watch when you have a quarterback who very much needs that shoulder to throw the football.
Absolutely. 3 months out from the start of his 3rd NFL season. Hopefully he is healthy when training camp begins. Now, Micah Parsons, he's not on the field amidst contract negotiations. Parsons did attend OTAs earlier this offseason, but he hasn't been at practice recently. And head coach Brian Schottenheimer, well, he's been optimistic that he would see Parsons on the field next week, given the star pass rusher has participated in mandatory minicamp in past off seasons after skipping OTAs.
With Micah, any assurances that he'll be here next week for the minicamp?
I would assume. Mike and I talked a couple of days ago. Again, he's doing a little bit of traveling. But again, everything that he and I have talked about, I expect that he will be here. And like I said, I say it each and every week. Mike and I have had great communication. Everything I've asked him to do and vice versa, he's followed through on. So I would expect to see him.
Now, we make a lot about attendance during OTAs, but again, they are voluntary, and expectations are that Parsons is going to sign a record-breaking extension sometime in the near future. So, Breech, are you at all concerned with his attendance or lack thereof this time of year?
Not really, just because Micah Parsons seems like the most good-natured guy in the NFL. If he doesn't show up to mandatory minicamp, he'll get fined because he is under contract with the Cowboys, and he doesn't seem like the type of guy that wants to pay a fine. So I do think he'll be there. Now, will he actually practice? I think that is a separate question. And if you're Micah Parsons putting yourself out there in pads practicing when you don't have that huge contract signed yet, that would be a little bit more unnerving. So I do think he will be there. I'm not sure that he will practice. But the other thing is, why don't the Cowboys just get this deal done? It is Jerry Jones has this track record of waiting until the last second to get contracts done. We saw it with Dak Prescott. We saw it with CeeDee Lamb. And the problem with waiting to the last second is that you're spending way more money than you need to. So here we are. The Cowboys are in this situation again. It seems like they're in it every single year. But yes, I do think that Parsons won't have a contract by next week. He will be at minicamp, but maybe not practicing.
Breech, I'm sealing off your paper because that was going to be my main point there. I'm not concerned if I'm Micah Parsons. I'm concerned if I'm the Cowboys and trying to maintain some kind of semblance of a salary cap that's workable. And look, you can do the math and figure things out salary cap wise, but to your point, Dak Prescott's the highest paid quarterback at $60 million a year. CeeDee Lamb is the third highest paid wide receiver at $34 million a year behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. So now you're going to make Micah Parsons the highest paid edge rusher at around $40 million per year. And again, it's doable, but if you do the math, that's 48% of the salary cap as we currently sit here in 2025. And I went and looked quickly at the math of teams that have their top 3 players and what they generally account for salary cap wise. Number 2, the Breech's Bengals at 42% because of Joe Burrow and the 2 wide receivers. Then it's the Bills at about 35%. And then you go down to number 10, and it's the Chiefs at 28%. So, look, you can pay your top 3 guys whatever you want to pay them, but the rest of the roster is a concern, and that's the concern we've had, not in the regular season for the Cowboys because they've been really good, but once they get to January, they seem to run out of steam, and you have to pay Micah Parsons, and to Breech's point, he's worth it, and he's also a great teammate and a lot of fun to listen to in terms of the quotes that he offers. But you got to build a team, and why Jerry Jones insists on waiting to the 11th hour and overpaying wholesale every single time, or resale every single time instead of wholesale, that remains the big mystery to me. Also worth noting, T.J. Watt wants a new deal, and if the Cowboys mess around and T.J. Watt gets $41 million, the Cowboys got to pay $41 million and at least $1 more than that. So it adds up eventually, but they seem unconcerned, Maddie, so we'll just wait and find out together. But I would imagine Micah's going to reset the market probably later rather than sooner based on how the Cowboys do things.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing's for sure, Micah Parsons, a very productive rookie contract. Another rookie that's been turning heads, Travis Hunter, making plays on defense, including this interception from OTAs that has gone viral. He has impressed so much that head coach Liam Cohen said that Monday, secondary coach Ron Miles is already pitching for him to get more time on the defensive side of the ball with the rookie two-way player. Now, Ryan, looking at the ball skills he's already showing, should the Jags be prioritizing him on defense?
You know, it's funny. Like, that is an amazing play by any human being, even Travis Hunter. But we saw Travis do that what felt like week in and week out in Colorado, and we're still blown away by what we saw just there. And the other thing is this. We all made the point in the pre-draft process and said you had to have sort of a load management situation plan for Travis Hunter. You can't put him out there for 120 steps in the NFL like they did in Colorado, even though he excelled and he was always the best player on the field, because his body, you would imagine, can't do it. It's like buying a Ferrari and saying, you know what, I'm only going to drive at 35 miles an hour around the neighborhood. I will not get on the freeway and punch it. And then you see plays like this, and you get glimpses of what punching it looks like, and you are going to end up talking yourself into playing him on both sides of the ball, perhaps maybe more than he should play. I would still think that you lean towards wide receiver, along with Brian Thomas Jr., of course, getting back a healthy Trevor Lawrence, and then a package of plays for Travis on defense. But I think, Breech, what happens is that when you have the Ferrari, you ain't looking to drive around the mall parking lot really slowly. You're looking to punch it. And one other thing I'll mention, guys, I'm going to break a little news here. Today on the podcast, me and Rand Carthon talked to not only Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, but also James Gladstone, the Jaguars GM, about this trade. And he mentioned specifically that play that we just saw and how blown away everyone at practice was. And I think that's just a glimpse into the future of what Travis Hunter in Jacksonville is going to look like.
Yeah, and Ryan, you just mentioned that maybe you give him a little more playing time at wide receiver, give him a package at defense. That's a solid plan on paper, but when Jacksonville gets to week 1 and gives up 412 passing yards, they're going to have to go back and start from scratch and say, all right, Travis Hunter is playing defense. I think if you look at where this team's needs are, it is on defense. The Jags gave up the most passing yards in the NFL last season, and it was not close. And as you mentioned, they do have Brian Thomas on offense. They have some good offensive weapons if Travis Hunter isn't playing there full time. So even if he is a better receiver, I just feel like Jacksonville needs him a little bit more on defense. And so that's going to make this decision very interesting. And the other thing is, we see corners all the time drop easy interceptions, and then you say, well, that's why they play defense, because they can't catch passes. You don't have that problem with Travis Hunter, because he is going to catch anything out there, and the Jacksonville Jaguars need someone on defense who can make plays like that and come up with key interceptions. They have not had a player like that in recent memory. So I think or the last 2 years. So you put Travis Hunter out there on defense, that makes their pass defense much, much better than it was last year.
What a great problem to have. Such a talented player. Everybody wants to play with him on their side of the ball. We'll see where he ends up when the fall rolls around. Ryan, Wilson, John Breech, thanks so much for the insight.